PhotoShare photo project. Here I'll be showing off a few features. First, we will start with photo tagging. So let's log in as an arbitrary user. We'll log in as Took and see that if we already have tags stored in the database, we can hover over them to get a hyperlink to their user detail. We can click on them. If this hyperlink's to Ian Malcolm, we go to his user detail. We can also add new tags arbitrarily. So we can go to Add Tag here on the slider after Show Tags. Click and make a selection over the face. Select Peregrine Took, save it. It automatically brings us back to Show Tags, and we can go and see a hover view here just like before. We can do this as much as we want, and every time, as you can see, we make a tag, we can either simply drag elsewhere to make a new tag, or we can hit the cancel button to cancel the tag altogether. So that is photo tagging. Now let's look at favorites. We can see that we have one favorite stored for this profile, and we can go elsewhere to, let's say, Ray's profile. Go in, like a few photos. We can see that the favorite button becomes disabled once we favorite it. We go into favorites, and we can see that these favorites pop up. When we click on one, we get a modal with the timestamp. We can click outside of it to exit, and we can also hover over and click the minus button to dynamically remove the favorite from the favorites detail. That is pretty much favorites. Next, we can talk about mentions. So if we go to a user's photo, we can mention a user by using the @ and their full names are displayed. All users in the database are dynamically displayed in the pop-up list. When we click them, we can see it converts the text to their username. And any mentions in here, we can do multiple. Let's say we can see that once we tag users, we just tagged Ellen and we tagged April, we can then go back to their profile and see that the new photo pops up as a mention, and we can click on this and it will deep link us and scroll right to the correct photo. This works also in advanced mode. If we go back to April's profile, click on the mention, notice it brings us directly to the second photo in the display. So deep linking does work correctly for mentions, for the mention display. And we should note that the way that mentions work is we have to @ their username for the mention to be stored. Any other @ text will simply do nothing. And the way that we get it, the username, is by selecting the user from the dynamic list, and it will automatically give us the username, and that will store the mention. New mention. And now we can see if we go to John's profile, we do indeed have the mention. So that is pretty much mentions, which are displayed both in the comment input text and in the user detail. Next, let's talk about likes. This one is pretty straightforward. We can like a photo, unlike it. Once we like it, it becomes a dislike. We can see that if we log into a different profile, this will store the like and we can show it there. So we're in Took's profile. We can also just go into Ray's profile and like the same photo. And we can see now it goes up to 2. The same thing, we can favorite it, and favorites here are distinct from favorites on any other user detail. So now we are on Ray's. She has a different set of favorites from before. We can remove them, add them, etc. Lastly, we have our activity feed, which is dynamic. Here, if we open a new screen and we log in as a different user, let's log in as Ellen and leave a comment. We can now go back to the original display, refresh it, and see that we have our login here, and we have our new photo comment. So that is all of the features on my app. We have likes, we have the activity feed, we have favorites, we have user mentions, and we have photo tagging. And also the mentions is an infinite scroll. We can continue to show more and get more activity items. And that is my photo app. Thank you very much.